I appreciate that. It's just an honor for me to be part of the leadership team here. Fantastic job on the presentation, and it's always great to hear Dan's story as well. Very inspiring. And again, it's an honor. It really is an honor. And so I'm excited about tonight's training. So for those of you who are watching the webinar or even listening via phone, I know we have many people all over the world listening in here, please grab a paper and pen. It's not going to be a very long training, but it can make a profound effect in your business. So I'm excited to share the training. Let me go ahead and I believe to change the slides. Let me know if it changes. It should be.
If you right click on your name, Jeannie Clemens Organizer.
Yeah, I just did that. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, staff. Here we go. Let me know if it changed.
Nope. So ladies and gentlemen, as we're doing this, as he said, go get your piece of paper and pencil. There, it did. Okay.
Did it start?
Yes.
How's that?
I'm completely out now. Let me see. Okay.
I think it should be showing.
Yes, you're showing. You're there.
All right. Success. Awesome. Well, great. And once again, thank you again. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to share, again, just some valuable information. This isn't going to be a long training, but again, just really more of a psychological shift in how we focus on doing our business on a daily basis. We all know there's a lot of different factors and pieces that need to come together in order for us to be successful. We have everything here at NHT Global, and again, more excited now than I was when I joined a few months ago, and very excited what's happening in our organization, very excited what's happening with the growth of the company. And I want to talk about, again, just a simple, really psychological shift in activity focus that can, again, create momentum, hyper growth in your organization. So if you're brand new and you just joined us in NHT Global, or you've been with us for many months, many years, or been with us for since the start of NHT Global, this is something that, again, can take your business from $300 to $1,200 a month by just, again, shifting what we're going to be talking about right now. But before I begin, I always like to share a personal testimonial. I just had a recent one. I wanted to wait till I got one of the products in my system a little bit longer. I'm actually just amazed what it's done in a matter of 1 week. In my last training that I did, I shared a testimonial on the Energen product along with the Cluster X formula that we have. The testimony I want to share with everybody here, and I want you to think of people that may fall in this category because you definitely want to get this product out to them and get the information out ASAP. About 5 years ago, I actually tore my meniscus in my knee. It was a severe tear. For those of you who know what a meniscus is, it's basically a cartilage, which is your shock absorbance of your knee. I tore the inside part, the medial part of it, during a soccer match. And it put me out for about 6 weeks. And I did the rehab. My background, as you mentioned, was in sports medicine, so I did rehab. It was actually a surgical case because my meniscus was so torn that it was actually clipping a lot of my tendons when I was walking. So I decided to rehab, do conservative. At the time I took every type of glucosamine, shark cartilage, MSM, anything that I could put in my body just to help me with the pain. And I still was very competitive in what in soccer. I still play basketball. I run, and that was something that I couldn't do. Anyways, long story short, about a year after that, I started getting into activity again. It hurt me, but I still was able to play. And, of course, the swelling came along with it and the pain the next day. And as of recently, about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, every time I took a step, my knee would swell up. At any given time, I can get up, I can walk, feel great, and all of a sudden, I could just feel my knee swell up. And if I took long walks with my wife or went to the mall with my kids, I couldn't last more than like 20, 30 minutes without limping. And so, again, you name it. I back to physical therapy, back to chiropractic care, did acupuncture, went on, again, any type of joint supplementation. And I have to tell you, I started the glucosamine that we have. I started it about 2 weeks ago. And on Friday, this past Friday, for the first time, I just realized that my knee didn't swell throughout the day. Okay? So the next day, I felt good. It didn't bother me. So what I did over the weekend is I played basketball. And it did not affect me. So what I winded up doing 2 days ago is I decided I was going to go for a 1 mile run. I didn't want to do anything extravagant. 1 mile. 1 mile was going to be my test. And at 1 mile, I stopped, and I felt great. It didn't bother me. My knee didn't swell. I didn't have pain. I'm actually standing right now talking to everybody, walking back and forth, and I feel 100%. And I wanted to see, would I swell up the next day? And so it's been about, maybe 10 days I've been taking it. I don't quite remember. It was last week, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. And it wasn't until Friday. So I'm just amazed. And I'm continuing to take it, and I'm going to be following up with my story. I've been sharing it also with some doctors I'm affiliated with, because I'm going to be sharing not only my story but our products, because people need to be on this product. Anybody that suffers from arthritic changes, anybody that has joint irritation, anybody that had any cartilage, whether in the shoulder, in the knee, in the ankles, in the hips, in the spine, you got to get this product out to them ASAP. And that's a pretty short period of time that I've noticed the success already. I feel phenomenal, and really I shouldn't based on the tear. So what I found, one of the ingredients, which is the green-lipped muscle powder. Muscle is kind of a miniature clam, just so you can visualize it. When I did some research on that, on the powerful effects of the clam, it had amazing anti-inflammatory properties. So anybody who has any type of inflammation from a sprain, ache, joint irritation, get this product out to people ASAP. So I wanted to share that because I know everybody knows people that are either taking some type of supplement or taking some type of medication for their joint or for their pain, and it's our duty to get this information out to them ASAP. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. So thank you for allowing me to do that. And we're going to move on to our training. I'm probably not going to take more than, 15, maybe 20 minutes at the most. But again, can have such a significant impact in getting your organization to again, momentum, hyper growth, whatever you want to call it. And it's really just changing one shift in how you focus in your business. This is not rocket science. This is not something that maybe you've never heard, but putting it in this context can literally change how you work your business on a daily basis, and again, can take you from, a couple hundred to a couple $1,000s a month, even weeks, just by focusing on this. Now, we all know that in order for us to build our business, okay, we need to talk to people. We need to expose our opportunity. We need to expose our products. We need to get the message out there. If you don't talk to people, basically what you're doing is you have a sign that says closed for business on your store. And the benefit of what we have here is we have a 24/7, online store that people can buy from all over the world. And nobody will know unless you go out there and expose it by sharing it and talking to people. Now, if you are not growing or enrolling distributors or getting customers to purchase our phenomenal products, you are told that you're not talking to enough people, Now, I want to tell everybody that's listening right now, this is 100% true. You got to talk to people. It's our lifeblood of our business. You got to expose what you have to people, otherwise nobody knows what you have. So as much as this is true, I know many leaders and many teachers in this industry teach to have minimal daily contacts. The abbreviation is MDC. I'm going to try to change the slide here. MDC. Minimal daily contracts is what you should be doing on a daily basis or whenever you are working your NHT Global business. Some people, again, work this part-time. Some people work this full-time. Some people work this 2 or 3 times a week during their lunchtime, on the drive coming home. Whatever your schedule is to build your NHT Global business, it is not uncommon to hear you should be talking to a certain amount of people when you are working your business, Now, this is a key factor in showing that you have your business open, You got to be talking to people. Now, if you want to move your business faster, bigger, and to also leverage this opportunity more, you have to shift your focus from minimal daily contacts, and as you can see if you're watching the webinar, you'll see MDAP. If you shift to this, I'm going to tell you what that is. Again, you can turn your $300 check into $1,200. You can turn your $600 check to a $3,000 check, by simply focusing on this on a daily basis. And what's MDAP? It's minimal daily appointments created, That AP, actually, the P should be a C, so it's MDAC. But you want to focus on making appointments on a daily basis or when you're working your NHT Global business. I'm going to share some examples for you to see how powerful this can be and how just, again, profound impact you can have in your business starting tomorrow or starting tonight. Let me give you an example. We're going to compare these two, minimal daily contacts versus focusing on minimal daily appointments created, You have a minimal daily contacts of 3 a day or 5 a day. I'm going to talk to 3 people a day or I'm going to talk to 5 people a day, whatever it is, Now, of course, these are new people that you're going to be contacting on a consistent basis, whatever that number is, excluding your follow-up appointments, Your follow-up appointments does not count as talking to new people on a daily basis or when you're working your NHT Global business, Now, this is great. You talked to 3 people today. How many appointments were made? If there's 0, then there's no momentum going into the next day, What do I mean by that? If you focus on minimal daily contacts, let's say I'm going to talk to 3 people a day, and you did, because that was your focus, that was your goal, and you completed it. Then what you're doing is you're rewarding yourself for talking to voice messages, and you're rewarding yourself for getting no's, meaning people that are not interested, That's what you're doing. Now, the good thing about it is that you worked your business. It's part of you working the business. You're focusing in the process, which is everybody should be doing, So that's a plus. But here, We are talking about building it bigger, building it faster, and one that can easily duplicate. So let me give you another example. You talk to 6 new people a day, okay? I talk to 6 people 3 times a week. Let's give that example, okay? So that's 18 people that I'm going to talk to on a weekly basis. Now that's great, okay? How many appointments were made by contacting 18 people? Now when I talk about making appointments, let me explain what that means. Anytime somebody is interested in reviewing information about your products or reviewing information about our opportunity, okay, you then supply them information, whether it's a website, whether it's a webinar, whether it's a pamphlet, a brochure, or maybe they're open to meeting you if it's locally, or you're going to 3-way your upline partner, okay? These are all appointments, okay? So when I say appointment, that's what it means, that they are interested in what you're presenting to them for them to take a look via one of our tools. And what I just mentioned, all those different tools, again, it doesn't matter what you use, that's considered an appointment. So I don't ask my distributors, okay, how many contacts did they make, okay? Because a lot of people, people want to know, I really want to move my business forward, and usually a lot of people say, okay, well, how many people did you talk to yesterday? How many people did you talk to, for the last 3 days? How many people did you introduce NHT Global to for the past week? Okay, what I ask is how many appointments were made? How many appointments were made during the last week? How many appointments did you create yesterday? How many appointments did you create in the last 3 days? Okay? Do I still want them to continue making minimal daily contacts? Okay? Absolutely. But if that is the focus, that's not a focus that will turn into momentum. Now, as you talk to people and they're interested, obviously, hopefully you're scheduling an appointment, okay, to follow up with them within 24 to 48 hours. That's the rule of thumb. Anybody who receives information about your opportunity or your products, the rule of thumb is that you schedule an appointment to touch base with them within 24 to 48 hours. Rule of thumb, okay? So you make that appointment. So, again, I don't ask, how many contacts did my organization make? Because they can make the contacts, but if they don't get anyone on a tool that will do the work for them to expose the opportunity, do I still want them focusing on just minimal daily contacts without any feedback or suggestions, or maybe become a silent listener to see what it is that they're saying, how simpler can they prospect, okay? Wouldn't it be more productive if a distributor in your group, okay, including yourself, has 1 appointment a day for a follow-up than 3 minimal daily contacts a day, regardless of the outcome? Okay? Think about that. What about if everyone in your organization created 1 new appointment today? Tomorrow, everyone in your organization created 1 new appointment tomorrow. When somebody is when there's an appointment made, that means somebody is interested in looking at the information that can potentially join you, that can potentially buy from you, that can potentially refer you somebody. Okay? So you're ending your day with a positive note that you have a high chance that somebody's going to be joining you, buying you, or giving you referral over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now think about that. If you focus on making an appointment every single day versus just contacts, over a period of 10 days, if you do this consistently, from 10 days on until the rest of your career in NHT Global, you have an opportunity that every single day somebody will join your opportunity. Now, magnifying that, every day in your organization, there's going to be people enrolling in your organization if you had everybody in your group focus on that. So would it make sense to focus on making 10 daily contacts or to focus on making 2 appointments to follow up with on a daily basis? Remember, 2 appointments means 2 contacts that accepted to review information. Now, you may have to make 6 contacts to make 2 appointments. Maybe you talk to 2 people and you made 2 appointments. Maybe you have to talk to 10 people to make 2 appointments. Okay? So, or 14 contacts to make 2 appointments. Okay? Maybe you're good at what you do and you can become better by doing it. Maybe you can make 5 appointments when you talk to 8 people. Okay? So, that's what you want to focus on, because you don't go to bed unless your goal has been achieved. And if your goal is to make 1 new appointment, and I'll tell everybody what my goal is. My goal is to create 2 appointments every single day. Every single day, I create 2 appointments. Now, this is in addition to the appointments that I've made from previous days. So every day, not only do I prospect new people, I follow up on previously made appointments and I try to create 2 new appointments. So every day, I have the opportunity of enrolling a new teammate of mine. Every day, I have an opportunity to have a new customer on our products. But that will only happen if you switch from making just minimal daily contacts, because it's easy to say, I'm going to talk to 3 people a day. And remember, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. So you say, I'll do it tomorrow. But if you focus on accomplishing 1 appointment a day, okay, that means you may have talked to 2 or 3 people, 3 or 4. So again, the psychological effect now says in order for you to achieve that goal, you're not talking about how many new people do you have to talk to. You're just going to keep talking to people, exposing this to people until you make your 1 appointment. That's powerful. That is powerful if you could see the magnitude of this. So this picture here, if you're watching the webinar, is great. Because we have to talk to people. We've got to expose our opportunity. Our products are phenomenal, okay? Our opportunity is phenomenal. You have to talk to everybody you come in contact in what it is that we do and find out who they know that you can continue sharing this on a consistent basis so you can focus on making new appointments every single day. Plant seeds, okay? You want to plant seeds. That's what you do when you talk to people. But you want to quickly switch that to making appointments. What's going to grow? Planting a seed and hoping that it will grow, or planting a seed and fertilizing the seeds? When you're making appointments, you're fertilizing your business. When you're making appointments, that means there's people that could be joining your opportunity. When you're making appointments, that means people are going to be buying your products. When you're fertilizing your business, there's going to be growth. And that's really the best way I can compare the difference between minimal daily contacts and minimal daily appointments created. You can either plant seeds, and when you plant seeds, there's going to be growth. Okay, again, we're talking about building faster, okay, and something that also could be duplicatable, because if you can duplicate something that could build faster, now you got a hyper growth in your entire organization, okay? Or you can continue to plant seeds and also fertilize them by focusing on making appointments. So, how many daily appointments do you want to create daily? I shared with you mine. It's 2, okay? It's 2, because sometimes I have to talk to 15 people to get my 2 appointments, because some people don't pick up the phone, okay? If I said that I'm going to talk to 10 people a day, and 8 of them I got, voice messages, okay, and the other 2 I just didn't get a hold of, then, okay, I worked my business, which is great, But guess what? I put it aside and I feel good about doing my business. Well, how great would it feel to know that I created my 2 appointments? Now, I could talk to 2 people, and sometimes I could have 2 appointments, okay? I then achieved my goal. Now, I wouldn't stop. I would continue. But again, at least I've accomplished something that is, again, taking me closer to hypergrowth. And really, my activity is the same. The only difference is I'm changing the psychology of how I do my business and what I focus on. So, how many daily appointments do you want to create daily? Or whenever you're working your business, like again, everybody comes in for different reasons. They have a different schedule. So whenever you're working your NHT Global business, what is your daily appointments you want to focus on? Okay? Please set that tonight. Set it tonight. Make a determination what it is for you. And guess what? What's the minimum? The minimum has to be 1. But guess what? The minimum, if consistent, is all you need to have hypergrowth in your organization. Okay? So, that's basically the simple shift in activity focus that will create, again, massive momentum in your organization. Think about everybody in your organization doing that. It will catapult your organization. It will take NHT Global to places we know it's going to go. And I'm excited to be able to share that with everyone listening in. Hopefully people took some nuggets out of this, and hopefully people will apply this. And obviously, we'd love to get feedback on this as we're building to be the #1 global company in network marketing, because that's where we're going to be. I'm excited to be a part of that. And this simple concept can help you take a big piece of the pie in the massive growth that we're going to have here at NHT Global over the next 5 to 10 years. So I want to thank everybody for joining us on this training. Please keep in mind, every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have a leadership training call that you want to stay connected so you can continue to learn from top distributors, trainers that will help you build your business. Plug in, put it on your planner, put it on your calendar. Make sure that you also get your team involved, because when you get plugged into these leadership trainings, not only are you going to learn, but you're going to earn a lot more when your organization is also on in these leadership trainings. So once again, thank you for joining, and we will hear you on next week's leadership training. Thank you so much.